Quartararo from Spatial Networks. I am going to talk to you about something that's really interesting to me, and that's geography. So I think geography is the science of everything, and you may be saying, yeah, but so what? What is geography? Well, usually it's a study of the planet Earth, but when we look at it more in an abstract sense, it's the spatial relationship between different things. So it could be stars, or it could be neutrons and protons, but luckily for us, the Earth and the Moon fall between those two things. So really, it is the science of everything, everything from religion and language, and we'll give some examples here in a minute, but we've seen at least 4 different presentations tonight that talk about maps. We started off with maps. There's been a couple of maps in between. So I think there's a trend going on here, and I'm glad to see that. So geography and economics, what do we get? We get socioeconomics. So finding where the next Starbucks is going to be, where you're going to buy a house, how much can you afford. So you can't do economics without geography. When we talk about politics, right, we have a problem with that in Florida. Elections are a bit of a challenge for us. Where are the voting stations? Where are the voting districts? That's called gerrymandering, and the one in power gets to decide where you go vote. You can't do that. History, and apologies to any historians in the room, but I like to refer to that as temporal geography. There's a lot of facts in history, but they're really not as powerful as they could be unless you have a map, unless you know where that thing was. So when we talk about culture, we heard a little bit about that earlier. Religion, language, customs, society study, that's kind of anthropology, but really it's culture with an underlying geographic theme. Food, I like to eat. I'm sure everybody in the room likes to eat. It's kind of important, but that's not what I'm talking about. We grow food somewhere, we distribute food somewhere, and people consume it somewhere. Study of geography and food, well, getting the food to the people that need it, that's kind of important. Water, we can't go 3 days without it. That's kind of important. It's a limited resource. It's not equally distributed, and most of the water on the planet is not drinkable. So study of where that water is and how to get it to people that need it, that involves geography. Security. What's the first thing you think about when you move to a new place or you want to go live in a different state? Where's the good neighborhood to live? That's inherently geography. That's kind of important. So there might be some aspect of this presentation, this talk, that you're kind of getting an idea about what I think about geography, that it's pretty central to everything we do. So I've given a few examples, and the next slide, when it does come up, is going to show you exactly how I feel about geography. It is the center of everything that's important to us in our life. So it doesn't consume the whole aspect of what you might study, and these are just a few examples, but you can see the tremendous overlap to it. And you may be saying to yourself, okay, great, well, I might understand that, I might believe it, but really, so what? What does that matter? Because as I've studied this, and I've looked at this, and I've been doing this for quite a while, over the course of my career, geography has become more and more irrelevant. The internet has changed everything. Globalization has changed everything. Trade agreements have changed everything. It no longer is as important where you work and where you live. But at the same time, it's become indispensable. We can't get from one place to another efficiently without understanding of geography. Most people in this room probably have a smartphone or an in-car navigation device. Because why? Because it's important to know where we're going. It's indispensable, but it's also indistinguishable. It's subtle. It's melted into the background. If you use Foursquare or Twitter and you check in someplace, you're actually contributing to geography or using the science of geography. You just don't know it. That's okay, but just understand that that's power behind that. It's also everywhere. It's in your hand. It's literally everywhere. It's under our feet. Geography is important to that. It's in our virtual environment, whether you participate in something like Second Life or just anywhere else, geography is there. It's constant. It's been here since the world began. It's literally under our feet. The physical world, the cultural world, all of that is there, so it's a constant. Even if we don't understand and appreciate it perfectly, it's still there. It's a constant thing. So the way I feel about it is that the human experience is defined by geography. That may be something that may take people by surprise or feel it's a little bit bold statement, but I would challenge you to try to point to an aspect of your life or your human experience, where you grew up, where you were born, where you go to work, where you travel on vacation, that does not involve geography. So don't just take my word for it. Ask yourself, what does geography mean to you? Thanks.